Charles Shobraj, Santosh Paul, Cyanide Malika. In our previous serial killer videos, we have covered some really gruesome serial killers. Killers whose deeds can send shivers down your spine. And just when I thought it couldn't get any murkier, I stumbled upon this name, Thug Behram. A name that is even mentioned in the Guinness World Records. Why in the records, you ask? Because he was involved in 931 murders. Yes, 931 murders. This is the story of the deadliest serial killer, and he committed those crimes right here in India. So the story goes back almost 3 centuries. And to understand it better, you need to understand the word thug. While thug is usually defined as a violent person, the roots of this word lie in India. Thug is derived from the Hindi word thug, which means thief. But how is this connected to the deadly serial killer we are talking about? You see, the thugs was a very large criminal network that operated back in those times. They would befriend travelers on the roads, gain their trust, and then eventually that trust would be smashed left, right, and center. Pun not intended. Because it was strangling that was one of the main ways in which they executed these crimes. Thug Behram was one such thug. Born in the 1760s, it was during the period between 1790 and 1840 that Behram committed those heinous murders. Because of the dubious nature of his work and the fact that it happened way back, there are some inconsistencies in the reports regarding Behram. Like Guinness mentions, Behram committed these murders in present-day UP's Awadh district, whereas some reports claim his place of committing crimes was along the Delhi-Gwalior-Jabalpur route. This route connected many parts of India. Traders, pilgrims, and other groups used to travel on the roads during those days. And these were the people and the groups that were targeted by Behram. So what was Behram's modus operandi? Sources say that Behram's gang would mix with a group and then join their caravan. Reportedly, the gang would converse in a sign language known as Ramosi. When presented with an opportunity, the gang members would imitate a jackal's cry in order to inform Behram and co. And then, this would be the weapon of their choice. It's reported that 2 other people would also help Behram when he would kill someone. One person would hold the victim's hands and the other their legs. There was something else that Behram used, a medallion within the handkerchief. And that's how Behram would strangle his victims. 931 of them. There's also a report that during those killings, the gang members used to play music to drown out the noise. The gang would eventually get their hands on the victims' belongings. What about the bodies though? Reportedly, the bodies were then thrown in wells or they would be buried. Behram's terror was such that people used to try and avoid traveling on the routes marked by him. For someone who was involved in more than 900 murders, it was obvious he would require help. Not surprising then that his gang wasn't a small one. It had around 200 people. Some records mention a Sayeed Ameer Ali as one of the other prolific thugs who took part in the murders of 700 odd people. And one account even links a certain Sayeed Ameer Ali and Thug Behram as co-conspirators. So did Thug Behram stop, or did he continue with his murders until his last breath? In the 1800s, a lot of people were disappearing in North and Central India. And this got the British authorities into action. An officer named William Sleeman was designated to investigate this matter. One source states that one of Sleeman's first acts was to get jungles on these highways cleared so the gangs won't find it easy to hide. Sleeman also had informants at his disposal, and according to a book by Welsh writer and researcher Mike Dash, it was one of these informers who led the authorities to Behram. Behram was caught when he was around the age of 70 and he did confess to the murders. Although, as per Mike Dash's book, the numbers in his different confessions varied. The book mentions that in the papers of James Patton, an officer, Behram once said that he had taken part or had been at more than 930 murders. Whereas, in another confession, he said that he may have strangled 125 people and seen 150 more being strangled. But the Guinness records do say that he committed 931 murders. Reportedly, on Behram's tip, 1,400 thugs were captured by the authorities, and the people who helped this gang by disguising as traders were also caught. Thug Behram was later hanged. Mike Dash's book states that around 4,500 thugs were put to trial between the years 1826 and 1848, and that Behram wasn't the only one involved in hundreds of murders. It's a pretty long list, but the number 931 does stand out. Not only in that list, but in every other such list, and so does the name of Thug Behram. Hey, hi! If you enjoyed watching this video, then please like, share and comment. The whole point of our channel is to ask fun and compelling questions, explore weird and intriguing stories, and delve into secret histories. So if that's something you're into, then do not forget to subscribe to our channel.